I mean, if the word cheese bread doesn't get you hot and bothered at any day part, I don't know what will. And with a few little goodies on there, every bite is a new adventure. Khachapuri, the national dish of Georgia. Would you like to learn how to make them? It's simple and easy. Give me a couple minutes. I'm going to show you how. So one of the most important steps is to get everything ready before you start rolling out your dough. Because once you roll out your dough, you need to work quickly to get those boats into the oven. So I have my cheeses that are ready. A sliced washed rind cheese from Vermont. I have some coarsely grated Parm. I have some feta. You can use any combination of 3 cheeses that you like. I typically like to have a very dry cheese, a wet brine cheese, something that's fairly dry like a Bulgarian feta, still creamy though. You can use cotija cheese, casseri cheese, so many different types of cheese. And then I like to have something that's a little more acidic, like a washed rind cheese. And I have, a little bit of dry aged ham that's sliced, some tomatoes, some olives, my sesame seeds, butter and my brush, my eggs, and a little bit of chopped herbs. We get all those things ready. We have our pan ready. We have our paddle ready with flour. So I have everything in front of me before I start working. I've got my dough. I'm gonna get this nicely coated in flour so that nothing sticks there. I'm gonna take my bench knife. Depending on what kind of dough you have, how big, you just wanna make sure that you get 2 nice pieces that you can break down. And I usually like to do halves and push down so that I immediately have some nice football shapes. To me, that is the key. And then I want to make sure that I create a boat, not an oval, but a boat, which means I need to push up the sides of this boat. And if you want to push or pull those sides apart, by all means do it. But don't be afraid with dough to let your fingers do the walking. What do I mean by that? It's dough. You can shape it with your fingers. And so many people are so afraid of working with dough. And trust me, once you get those little rims up and you get the cheese in, you baste the sides with butter and sprinkle them with sesame seeds, you are really gonna be amazed at how simple it is to make really beautiful khachapuri. One of the things that some people like to do, I do, is to put the little edges on them, those little bonbon ties. Just give it a little twist. Again, when they're cooked, they are really going to look super, super nice. Right now, they look ragged, and they should. So, there we have our 2 boats. Let's try to make them a little equal in size by pulling on them a little bit. I'm going to take some of my nice acidic washed rind cheese and put that right in the middle. I am then going to take a little bit of feta. Remember, the origin of these, cheese bread. Honor that. Should be cheesy. Then some of our dry cheese, that Parm. It's gonna be nice and salty. And then what I wanna do is, now that I have this in there, I wanna spread these edges a little bit because I have help now It's almost like another hand. The weight of the cheese is in there, right? The next thing that I want to do is I want to transfer these to my board, right? Why do I want to do that? Because why wouldn't I? It's the wise ass answer. No, in all honesty, once you start building them at this point, you want to be able to efficiently transport them. And once you brush them with, butter and sesame, and you do all the other things, if you do that on this mat, you're not going to be able to get them as onto your peel as efficiently. I'm going to roll this up. I love these silicone mats. I'm going to place that away, and then I can get going with my butter basting. And this is such an important part of this. Don't be stingy with the butter. In fact, you'll see later, I actually am gonna pour the remaining butter into these boats. Just wanna make sure you have nice coverage. Sesame seeds, be generous. There is nothing better than sesame seed on this stunning pizza dough as a little topper. You can put the other goodies in there when you break your eggs into the centers of these. We're gonna push down and make a little well for the egg, but right now they need to cook for about 15 minutes or so at 450 degrees to par cook that dough. And so all we want to do is push these out onto our baking tray and get these khachapuri into our oven. 450 degrees. See you in 15 minutes. All right. 15 minutes later, one's perfect. One sprang a little bit of a leak, but look at how gorgeous. I mean, don't you want to eat one of these right now? I know I do, but we have to wait. The most important thing about this khachapuri, which by the way can be eaten now, right? I mean, cheese bread is what this is all about, but with an egg, it is just vastly, vastly superior. So all I want to do is I want to take a spoon and I want to make a little well in the middle here. And then all I want to do is I want to break an egg into my bowl. And the reason that I do that is I'm going to put my egg yolk right in the middle there. Break this other one. And I'm going to put my egg yolk right in the middle there. And then, if you want, take a little bit of that egg white. Doesn't matter if some spills, it's going to. And just take some and push it around there. We'll leave this one plain. I'll put few pieces of salty country ham here. How about some olives? 3 pieces, that should do, right? How about some sliced tomatoes? These are tiny little cherry tomatoes, just itsy bitsy pieces, nice little punches of acid. Look at that. Those look heavenly. So now that those are there, a little bit of salt on that egg yolk, a little bit of pepper, and we'll put these back into the oven for 8-9 minutes to cook that egg. Well, khachapuri perfection. So I have a question for you. How do you like your khachapuri? Do you like them classic egg and cheese? I mean, that's pretty darn delicious. Or do you like them fully loaded? Egg and cheese? Fully loaded? Egg and cheese, fully loaded. You know what I'm going to do? It's an easy decision. I'm going to eat both of them. And most importantly, how do they taste? Khachapuri, the national food of Georgia. You can go all the way to Tbilisi, or you could just make them yourself. I say make them yourself.